Hello students, how are you? I hope all of you are in good health. I also hope that all of you have completed all the work of chapter 9 in your fair notebook. Students, in chapter 9 you learned to find simple interest and compound interest. What is the difference between simple interest and compound interest? You also learned to find time and rate, etc. Today I am going to start chapter 10, that is direct and inverse proportion. Chapter 10, that is direct and inverse proportions. Okay, let us start. See here in the book, in this chapter what we will learn? I will explain the meaning of variation or proportion, what is direct and inverse variations, how we solve the problems based on direct and inverse variations, and some problems which are on joint variation. So students, what is variation? See here, it was a festive season. People went to a famous sweet shop to buy sweets. Each sweet box costed rupees 250. Means cost of one sweet box is rupees 250. See this table. If cost of one sweet box is rupees 250, then what will be the cost of 3 boxes? It will be 250 into 3, 750 rupees. If we buy 4 boxes, then 250 into 4, 1000 rupees. When we buy 6 boxes, it will be 250 into 6, 1500 rupees. So you saw, as the number of seed boxes purchased increases, the cost also increases. Here, as the number of seed boxes increasing, cost of boxes is also increasing. Now, other case, there are 5 executives to attend the customers in a customer care office. The average waiting time of the customers is 10 minutes. Later, they employed 10 more executives and the average waiting time for the customers reduced. So, if there are only 5 executives in a customer care office to attend the customers, then what was the waiting time? If those executives are attending first customer, then second customer have to wait at least 10 minutes. Then later on they employed 10 more executives. Means now there are 15 executives to attend the customers. So their waiting time will decrease. Means as the number of employees increased, the waiting time of customers decreased. So students, if 2 quantities depend on each other in a way that a change in one results. Change in one means change in one quantity results. If we change one quantity, then corresponding change in the other means other quantity also affected. Then the 2 quantities are said to be in variation. Variation means change. Then both the quantities will be changed. For example, see here more examples. Few examples of variation in our day-to-day life are as follows. First, interest earned on money deposited in a bank. The money which we deposit in a bank, then what will be interest? See, as the money deposited in the bank increases, if we deposit more money in the bank, the interest earned on the money also increases. If we deposit less money in the bank, then we get less interest. Second example, consumption of food by family members. If the number of members in the family decreases or increases, then consumption of food in the family also decreases or increases. Means suppose if there are 4 members in a family, then consumption of flour atta, consumption of flour is suppose 20 kg per month. But if there are 5 members in the family, then their consumption of flour will be increased. Or if there are 3 members in the family, then consumption of flour will be less. So it is called direct variation. If both the quantities increases or decreases, means if one quantity increases, then other also increases. As in this case, if we increase the money deposited in the bank, then interest also increases. If we decrease the money deposited in the bank, then interest will be less. So if one quantity increases, then other also increases, or if one quantity decreases, other also decreases. In this case, as in this case, this is known as direct variation. Now come to third one, family members and days for which the grocery lasts. Suppose there are 4 members in the family, then their grocery is enough for 1 week. Okay, are you able to understand? If there are 4 members in the family, then our grocery lasts for 1 week. But if there one member is added, suppose one guest is added, means there are now 5 members, then our grocery will last more than 1 week or less than 1 week. It will last less than 1 week, यानी 1 week से पहले ही खत्म हो जाएगा. Next example, number of people needed to complete a given job. Suppose I want to whitewash my house. I want to whitewash my house and I employed 4 members, 4 people, and they complete the whitewashing in 7 days. But if I want that work is finished in 5 days, then I have to increase the number of people or decrease the number of people. I have to increase the number of people. Clear? Here in this example 3 and 4, if we increase the number of people, then job will be finished, job will be completed in less time. So if one quantity increases, then other will decrease. One more example to clear this inverse variation I want to give you. Suppose we have to go Delhi from Hapur. First time when we go, then speed of our car is 50 km per hour. Then we reach Delhi in 2 hours. But next time when we go, we increase the speed of our car from 50 to 60 km per hour. This time we have increased the speed of our car. Then we will reach Delhi in less than 2 hours. So when the speed of car is increased, then the time decreased. Clear? I think now all of you are able to understand what is inverse variation. Here speed is increasing. When we increase the speed, then time is decreased. Now it is clear what is inverse variation. See here, one more example is given for direct variation in this table. Number of items and cost. 1 pen cost 15 rupees. 3 pen cost 15 into 3, 45 rupees. 10 pens cost 150 rupees. 15 into 10, 150. Then we find here ratio of x upon y. They have taken number of pen x and cost y. Here students, it is given reciprocal. We have to find the ratio of x upon y. So value of x is 1, y is 15. So it is 1 upon 15. In second case, value of x is 3, y is 45. So 3 upon 45, when we simplify it, 3 1 ja 3, 3 1 ja 3, 3 5 ja 15. It is again 1 upon 15. 10 pence and 150. X is 10, Y is 150. It is 10 upon 150. 0 0 cancel. Again it is 1 upon 15. We observe that as the number of pence increases, the cost also increases. Thus, cost and the number of pence bought are in direct variation. Then after this, from the table, we can observe that the ratio of x ratio y, that is x upon 5, x upon y is constant. That is x upon y is equal 1 upon 15. Two quantities x and y are said to be in direct variation if they increase or decrease together in such a manner that the ratio of their corresponding values remains constant. That is x upon y is equal k, or x is equal ky by cross multiplication, where k is constant. See here, x upon y is constant, that is 1 upon 15. In each case, value of x upon y is 1 upon 15, 1 upon 15, 1 upon 15. That is constant. If value of x upon y remains same, it is known as constant. If y1 and y2 are the values of y corresponding to the values x1 and x2 of x respectively, then x1 upon y1 is equal x2 upon y2 equal k, or x1 ratio y1 proportion x2 ratio y2. It will be more clear when we will do questions of exercise 10a. Clear? One more thing. Note, x is directly proportional to y is written as x proportional y. See, we will write like this x, then a will be written like this y, or x directly proportional to y. This is the sign for directly proportional. Clear? Now come to exercise. See first question. Exercise 10a. Determine whether x and y are in direct proportion or not in each of the following. Here there are 4 sums A, B, C and D. Students, I am explaining part C and D. I am explaining C and D. A and B you will do in homework. C. Here. First C question is, this is the table given. Here there are 4 values of x and 4 values of y, and we have to check whether x and y are in direct proportion or not. See here, value of x1 is 0.5 and y1 is 3. So we will find the value of x1 upon y1. x1 upon y1, x1 is 0.5, y1 is 3. Here it is 3. I have removed decimal here. After decimal there is 1 digit. So I have added 1 0. Now simplify it. 5 1 is 5, 5 6 is 30. x1 upon y1 is equal 1 upon 6. Now come to x2 upon y2. x2 is 1, y2 is 6. It is already 6. 1 upon 6. Now come to x3 upon y3. x3 upon y3, value of x3 is 1.5 and value of y3 is 9. From here I have removed this decimal. After decimal there is 1 digit. So I have added 1 0. Now it is 15 upon 90. 15 1 is 15, 15 6 is 90. It is 1 upon 6. Now come to x4 and y4. x4 is 2, y4 is 12. So x4 upon y4 is equal to 2 upon 12. 2 1 is 2, 2 6 is 12. It is again 1 upon 6. So students, you noticed in all the 4 cases, value of x upon y is 1 upon 6. Same value. So Then since x1 upon y1 is equal x2 upon y2 equal x3 upon y3 equal x4 upon y4 is equal k. K means constant. Therefore, here x and y are in direct proportion. Now come to D part, first D part. This is the table given for first D part. Again, there are 4 values for x and 4 values for y. This one is x1, x2, x3, x4, y1, y2, y3, y4. Again, we will find the value of x1 upon y1. x1 is 50 upon y1 is 30. 0, 0 cancel. x1 upon y1 is equal 5 upon 3. Now come to x2 upon y2. It is 25 upon 15. 5 5 ja 25, 5 3 ja 15. It is 5 upon 3. Now x3 upon y3, automatically it is given 5 upon 3. It is already given 5 upon 3. Now x4 upon y4, it is 3 upon 1. See here, it is 3 upon 1. So how we will write it? Since x1 upon y1 is equal x2 upon y2 equal x3 upon y3. See here, these three values are equal. But x4 upon y4 is not equal. Therefore, here x and y are not in direct proportion. Clear? I think question number 1 is clear. Now come to question number 2. In question number 2, given that x and y are in direct proportion. It is already given that value of x and y are in direct proportion. This time we have not checked. Find the missing value. We have to find this missing value. So how we will do? I am explaining only one part, that is 2C. A, B and D you will do self. So listen and watch carefully, very attentively. In this case, this table is given 2C. Here again 4 values 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. x1 is 6, y1 not given, we have to find out. x2 is 3.6 and y2 is 0.36. In direct proportion, we know x1 upon y1 is equal x2 upon y2. These values are equal. So x1 is given 6, y1 is y1 we have to find out equal. Then x2 is 3.6, y2 is 0.36. Again 6 upon y1 equal. We will remove decimal from here and here. Here after decimal there are 2 digits and here only 1 digit. So we will remove these 2 decimals and we will put 1 0. Now after decimal here also 2 digit, here also 2 digit. Now y1 into 360 by cross multiplication. y1 into 360 is equal 6 into 36. Then y1 is equal 6 into 36 upon 360. 36 1 ja 36. 36 1 ja 36, 0 means 36 10 ja 360, 2 3 ja 6, 2 5 ja 10. Now y1 is equal 3 1 ja 3 upon 5. So value of y1 is 3 upon 5. When we divide this 3 by 5, 0. Add 0, 5 6 ja 30. Value of y1 is 0.6. Clear? Now, so this value is 0.6. Now come to this value. This one is x3, this one is y3. So we will take it as base x2 upon y2 is equal x3 upon y3. Again put the values. x2 is 3.6, y2 is 0.36 equal x3 is 29, y3 we have to find out. Again by cross multiplication. y3 multiply 3.6 is equal 29 multiply 0.36. Then y3 is equal 29 multiply 0.36 upon 3.6. Here we will remove the decimal. Here after decimal 2 digit. Here after decimal 1 digit. So we will add 1 0 here. Then decimal cancel. 36 1 ja 36 10 ja 360. Again then y3 is equal this 29 1 ja 29 upon 10. When we divide this 29 by 10, we get 2.9. So value of y3 is 2.9. Now come to its last part. Here we have to find the value of x4. Again, x2 upon y2 is equal x4 upon y4. x2 is 3.6, y2 is 0.36. x4 we have to find out, y4 33.5. Then by cross multiplication, x4 multiply 0.36 is equal 33.5 multiply 3.6, 33.5, x power 4, sorry, not power, x4 is equal 33.5 multiply 3.6 upon this 0.36. Again here after decimal 2 digit, here 1 digit, we add 1 0, then remove decimal, 36 1 ja, 36 10 ja, x4 is equal 33.5 into 10. Then we will get value of x4 is 335. I think these two sums will be clear to you. So complete these two sums in your notebook. But if you have any difficulty, any problem, you can ask from me. Okay, students? Thank you and have a good day.